At 55, Jennifer Aniston finally reveals the hidden layers of her life that few knew existed. For decades, she has been beloved for her portrayal of Rachel Green on Friends, a character that became a cultural icon from the very first moment she graced our screens. But behind the infectious laugh, those unforgettable outfits, and the on-screen charisma, there's a side to Aniston's life that has remained largely untold. A side that was shaped by a childhood marred by emotional turmoil, deep scars, and an enduring struggle to find peace. Aniston's childhood was far from the glamorous image we associate with her today. Born in California in 1969 to a family with Greek roots, her early years were filled with promise, especially after her father, John Aniston, landed a role on the popular soap opera Days of Our Lives. The family moved to New York City, and Jennifer reveled in the excitement of city life. However, behind the bustling streets of Manhattan, the warmth of her home was quickly unraveling. As her parents' marriage deteriorated, she began to shoulder the emotional weight, believing that somehow it was her fault. In an attempt to keep the peace, she adopted a funny and goofy persona, hoping to make her family smile. But no amount of laughter could heal the rift in her family. At the tender age of 9, Jennifer's parents divorced and her father left for a period, leaving her grappling with the loss and confusion. This heartbreak shattered her view of happily ever after, a notion she had clung to with childlike optimism. It was a painful chapter in her life that would stay with her for years. Her relationship with her mother, Nancy, became increasingly strained. Nancy, a model, was known for her critical eye, particularly when it came to appearance. She would often make biting comments about Jennifer's looks, critiquing her need to wear makeup and take better care of herself. Though Jennifer understood that these comments came from a place of concern, they still stung, leaving deep emotional scars. As an adult, Jennifer reflected on her mother's tough love, acknowledging that while it was hard to hear, it was also motivated by a desire to see her succeed in a world that often equates beauty with worth. Despite the turbulence at home, Jennifer always felt a pull toward the world of acting. Perhaps it was the influence of her actor parents, or maybe it was the trips to Los Angeles to visit her father on set that ignited her passion. But one thing was clear. She was drawn to the spotlight. Though she struggled in traditional academic settings, once joking that there was a secret group of teachers who couldn't stand her, she found solace and success in the arts. Art class was her refuge, and one of her paintings even ended up on display in a renowned museum. Her charm and natural talent soon found a home in the school drama club, where she was captivated by the performances of legends like Laurence Olivier. It wasn't long before Jennifer knew that acting was her calling, and she made it her mission to follow her passion, despite the obstacles standing in her way. As we look back on Jennifer Aniston's journey, it's clear that her rise to fame wasn't just about the roles she played on screen. It was about overcoming the struggles in her personal life, facing the demons of her childhood, and building a career on her own terms. From her complicated relationship with her mother to the deeply personal questions surrounding her marriages and her desire to become a mother, Aniston has long been a figure of both admiration and intrigue. Yet, behind the public persona lies a woman who has quietly fought to define herself, not just as a star, but as someone who, after all the hardships, remains resilient, compassionate, and unapologetically authentic. Jennifer Aniston, a name synonymous with Hollywood success, wasn't always destined for the spotlight. Behind the glamorous red carpets and iconic roles lay a childhood filled with uncertainty and adversity. Born into a family deeply entrenched in the entertainment world, Jennifer's early years were anything but a fairy tale. Her father, John Aniston, a well-known soap opera actor, had a star-studded career, but their relationship was strained. She wasn't the daughter of a Hollywood A-lister being groomed for fame. Rather, she had to carve out her own path in an industry that could be both cruel and unforgiving. One of the first lessons Jennifer learned about the harsh realities of show business came when she was only 13. Her father, wanting to introduce her to the world he inhabited, arranged for Jennifer to have a small role on Days of Our Lives. It was nothing major, just a fleeting moment on screen as an extra. However, Jennifer quickly learned the harsh truth behind that moment. On the way home from the set, her father revealed that her appearance was a result of another girl's role being given up for her. Jennifer was devastated. It was a small taste of the business's cutthroat nature. Nothing is ever handed to you, no matter who you are. Despite the disheartening start, Jennifer didn't back down. She pursued her dreams of acting with a tenacity that would become a defining characteristic of her career. After high school, Jennifer dove headfirst into acting, enrolling in Manhattan's prestigious LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts. Her father, however, was concerned. Having seen firsthand the roller coaster of highs and lows that come with a career in show business, he feared that Jennifer might be crushed by the constant rejections. Yet Jennifer's determination never wavered. She was ready to make her mark. After leaving her parents' home, Jennifer, despite her complicated relationship with her mother, Nancy, was eager to carve her own path. She was ready for a fresh start, an opportunity to follow her dreams without looking back. But the journey would not be an easy one. Jennifer's early career was far from glamorous. She started at the Public Theater in 1988, performing in various productions where she could hone her craft. One night, during a small scene, something extraordinary happened. She made the legendary Al Pacino, sitting in the audience with Diane Keaton, crack up with just one line. It was a defining moment for Jennifer, a realization that her craft could have a profound impact on even the most iconic figures in Hollywood. However, the bright lights of the theater couldn't pay the bills. Like many aspiring actors, Jennifer worked tirelessly to support herself, waiting tables at a diner called Jackson Hole while juggling auditions. At the age of 20, Jennifer received the news that she had dyslexia. It was a revelation that explained so much about her earlier struggles with reading and writing. While this diagnosis was a weight lifted off her shoulders, it also marked a turning point in her career. The challenges it presented didn't stop her from pushing forward, though. Even in Hollywood, stars like Keanu Reeves shared similar struggles, reminding Jennifer she wasn't alone. Jennifer's very first film role was a small one in Mac and Me, a sci-fi adventure that was so minor, her name wasn't even credited. Yet, it was the start of something bigger. As the years went by, she found herself on television, taking roles in various shows. By 1989, she had made the bold move to Los Angeles, ready to embrace the next chapter of her career. It was in Los Angeles that Jennifer's career would take flight, eventually landing her the role of a lifetime. But before she became the beloved Rachel Green from Friends, before she became a household name, Jennifer was an actor trying to find her way, grappling with the same doubts and fears that any aspiring star faces. It was her perseverance, talent, and innate ability to captivate an audience that would carry her through. What we all now recognize as Jennifer Aniston, the talented, hilarious, and deeply compelling actress, was not simply born out of Hollywood stardom, but was shaped by years of struggle, self-doubt, and resilience. But Jennifer Aniston's journey to superstardom wasn't as smooth as one might think. After her early roles in sitcoms like Malloy and Ferris Bueller, which quickly fizzled out without gaining much traction, Jennifer's big break seemed elusive. Her involvement in the TV movie Camp Cucamonga didn't exactly catapult her into the limelight either, but it did lead to something bigger: Leprechaun, a horror flick that, despite being panned by critics, somehow gained a cult following over time. It was a strange twist of fate, but it helped Jennifer begin to gain the attention of casting directors, opening doors for future opportunities. The sheer scale of Friends fame still took Jennifer Aniston by surprise. Despite growing up surrounded by actors and the entertainment industry, it was hard for her to grasp just how massive the show had become. But one of the things that helped her stay grounded throughout the chaos was the unwavering support from her mother, Nancy. Jennifer never let the wild attention and fame get to her head. Having witnessed her mother's resentment and bitterness in the spotlight, she knew she didn't want to follow that path. Sadly, as time went on, Jennifer's relationship with Nancy grew strained. The bond they once shared hit a breaking point in 1996 when Nancy gave a candid and not-so-flattering interview to a tabloid show, spilling private details about Jennifer's life. But the ultimate betrayal came when Nancy published a tell-all book, From Mother and Daughter to Friends, a memoir. The pain from that revelation ran deep, and Jennifer ultimately made the painful decision to cut off communication with her mother for 15 years. But despite the turbulence in her personal life, Jennifer's professional life was thriving. Friends continued its meteoric rise to fame, a success attributed to a mix of relatable storylines, brilliant writing, and, most importantly, the perfect cast. David Schwimmer, who played Ross, recalls the unique chemistry that formed among the 6 actors from the very first rehearsals. Finding one actor who embodies their role perfectly is difficult enough, but to find 6, each of them uniquely fitting their characters and bringing them to life with such natural chemistry, was a rare stroke of magic. The cast didn't just deliver their lines, they helped create some of the most iconic moments in TV history. According to Lisa Kudrow, Phoebe Buffay, director James Burrows encouraged them to spend time together off-set during their first season. It was essential that they bonded quickly, and it paid off. They'd share meals, play poker, and relax together, forming the kind of supportive group dynamic that was crucial to the show's success. This connection became the show's secret weapon, and it offered them a protective little bubble away from the overwhelming attention they were receiving. As the show's success grew, so did the cast's influence behind the scenes. They decided to take control of the business side of things, refusing to let the studios treat them like anything less than equals. Initially, each of the 6 main actors had different salaries, but as negotiations for their contracts came up, they insisted on being paid equally. Their collective power paid off. After the 5th season, each of them was earning a solid $100,000 per episode. By the final season, that figure skyrocketed to a staggering $1 million per episode. This move cemented their place in TV history, with Jennifer, Lisa Kudrow, and Courtney Cox entering the Guinness Book of World Records as the highest-paid TV actresses of all time. Jennifer's performance as Rachel Green wasn't just popular with fans, it earned her critical acclaim as well. Over the course of Friends, she won multiple Screen Actors Guild Awards and was nominated for Emmys time and time again, finally taking home the trophy in 2002. She also snagged a Golden Globe in 2003, further solidifying her status as one of Hollywood's brightest stars. Yet sometimes life on set mirrored life off-screen. Remember the big statue of a dog that Joey, Matt LeBlanc, buys in one episode? That statue wasn't just a prop, it was Jennifer's. A friend had given it to her as a good luck charm when filming started, adding an extra layer of personal significance to the show's production. And speaking of good luck, Jennifer met actor Tate Donovan during Friends' 4th season, where their characters shared a brief on-screen romance. The chemistry between them extended beyond the screen, and their relationship became a reality. They were together from 1995 to 1998, and many people considered Tate to be Jennifer's first true love. Rumors even circulated that the two were engaged at one point. This whirlwind romance, though short-lived, was a significant chapter in Jennifer's personal life. But even as her love life played out in the tabloids, Jennifer's professional career was growing stronger. From the bright lights of Friends to navigating the complex world of Hollywood relationships, Jennifer Aniston proved time and again that she was not just a sitcom star, she was an icon in the making. but Jennifer preferred a more traditional look. Despite their differences, the two found a balance, creating a home that reflected both their personalities. In the public eye, they seemed inseparable, the epitome of a Hollywood power couple. Their life together, however, was not as perfect as it appeared. As their careers flourished, their relationship faced growing pressures. The couple's hectic work schedules and their respective fame made it difficult to maintain the connection they once had. Jennifer, who had always been focused on her career, found herself increasingly consumed by the demands of friends, while Brad was often working on major film projects abroad. Despite their attempts to stay connected, cracks began to appear in their relationship. In 2005, after 5 years of marriage, Jennifer and Brad shocked the world with the announcement that they were separating. The news came shortly after Brad began filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith with co-star Angelina Jolie, a relationship that would soon be thrust into the media spotlight. Speculation about Brad's involvement with Angelina began almost immediately, and many tabloids portrayed Jennifer as the victim in the triangle. The breakup was devastating for Jennifer, who had built her life around her relationship with Brad. But despite the heartbreak, she remained strong and focused on her career. In the years following the separation, Jennifer threw herself into her work, taking on diverse roles in both film and television. She worked on movies like The Breakup, 2006, Marley and Me, 2008, and The Good Girl, 2002, each of which showcased her range as an actress. Jennifer proved to the world that she was more than just Rachel Green, carving out a successful career in both comedy and drama. While the tabloids constantly kept her personal life in the limelight, Jennifer maintained a relatively low profile. She chose to focus on her career and her friends, who remained her unwavering support system. Over the years, she also used her platform to become an advocate for women's health and well-being, openly discussing her struggles with fertility and the pressures of motherhood. She became an outspoken advocate for self-love and the importance of personal boundaries in an industry that often made her feel inadequate. Despite the pain of her divorce, Jennifer found love again, though she has been notoriously private about her relationships. She's been linked to a few high-profile men, but she's always remained cautious of the media's ability to distort reality. Throughout it all, Jennifer's resilience shone through. She continues to be a beacon of strength and self-assurance in Hollywood, proving that no matter the hurdles life throws her way, she has the grace and determination to overcome them. Jennifer Aniston's journey has been anything but easy, and her personal life has been filled with both triumphs and heartaches. Yet through it all, her career has remained a constant source of inspiration. From Friends to her post-sitcom career, Jennifer has solidified her place in Hollywood as one of the industry's most talented and beloved stars. She remains a symbol of grace, strength, and the ability to rise above life's challenges. Jennifer Aniston's life was forever changed in 2005 when she and Brad Pitt made the shocking announcement of their divorce. For millions of fans, the news felt like the end of a Hollywood fairy tale. The couple, once dubbed the Golden Pair, had been the epitome of glamour, effortlessly charming their way into the hearts of the public. Yet, behind closed doors, their relationship had been facing challenges long before the media circus began. The split left Jennifer reeling, and the tabloid frenzy that followed was nothing short of exhausting. Speculation ran rampant, with the media pointing fingers at Angelina Jolie, Brad's co-star in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Rumors swirled that it was Angelina's magnetic personality and infamous allure that drove a wedge between Jennifer and Brad. Others, however, argued that the cracks had been forming in Jennifer and Brad's marriage long before they began working together on the film. There was talk that Jennifer, while deeply caring for Brad, had doubts about whether he was truly the love of her life. For Jennifer, this period was a profound betrayal, especially since the tabloids perpetuated the narrative that she was the career-obsessed woman who had chosen work over motherhood. This was a particularly painful accusation for Jennifer, who had openly expressed her desire to start a family. But, in a twist of irony, her commitment to her career was continuously questioned by the media, something no man in a similar position had to endure. In a raw and candid interview with Vanity Fair, she voiced her frustration, saying, "A man who's divorcing would never be accused of choosing career over children." The backlash was brutal. Paparazzi, the rats, as Jennifer called them, relentlessly followed her, desperate for a snapshot of her in distress, eager to capitalize on her pain. Amid this relentless pursuit, Jennifer withdrew from the public eye, finding solace only in her beloved dog, Norman. She retreated to her Malibu home, shutting out the world, as the speculation about her failed marriage continued to swirl. The public's division was palpable. T-shirts emblazoned with Team Aniston versus Team Jolie began to surface everywhere. The sentiment leaned heavily in Jennifer's favor, with Team Aniston shirts outselling their rivals by a staggering 25-1. Yet, despite the support, the public fascination with her heartache offered little comfort to Jennifer, who was grappling with deep emotional wounds. After her divorce, Jennifer Aniston faced the challenge of coping with the intense media scrutiny surrounding her personal life. As time progressed, she regained her confidence, emphasizing her career and taking on diverse roles in films like The Breakup, Marley and Me, and Horrible Bosses. Her return to television with The Morning Show earned her critical acclaim and numerous awards as she portrayed a talk show host grappling with her own scandal. This career revival demonstrated her ability to move beyond the Rachel Green image that had defined her. Though the aftermath of her divorce remained part of her narrative, it didn't encapsulate her identity. Jennifer learned to transcend the tabloid frenzy, showcasing her depth as an actress and resilience as a woman. She embraced challenging roles that explored a range of emotions, from vulnerability to empowerment. Her portrayal of Alex Levy highlighted her multifaceted talent and ability to resonate with audiences. Despite the continued public interest in her personal life, Jennifer maintained a sense of privacy, preserving her dignity and illustrating her strength amid relentless scrutiny. Jennifer Aniston's journey has been marked by the media's intense scrutiny of her marital status, motherhood aspirations, and relationships. Despite the relentless gossip and unfair assumptions, she has responded with grace, prioritizing her passion for acting and storytelling. Aniston, a beacon of relatability and success, showcases strength in ways that defy expectations, surviving heartbreak, embracing change, and taking charge of her life. As she entered her 50s, her vibrant journey continues, intertwining her roles as an actress, producer, and advocate. While her marriage to Justin Theroux began with engagement news in 2012 and culminated in a private ceremony in 2015, it ended in separation by the 2016 close of 2017. Beneath the Hollywood glamour, she harbored a longing for motherhood, a dream often overshadowed by tabloid rumors and invasive questions. In 2016, Aniston addressed the media's portrayal of her, voicing a broader critique of society's judgment of women. Her essay for the Huffington Post emerged as a powerful statement, advocating for understanding and authenticity beyond the confines of public perception. Years later, Jennifer Aniston shared her emotional journey in an interview with Or magazine, revealing the silent heartbreak she experienced concerning her struggles with motherhood. She discussed the relentless judgment and speculation about her baby plans and how it weighed heavily on her. Despite trying various methods, including IVF, teas, and alternative therapies, nothing seemed to work. With tears in her eyes, she expressed a deep grief she had held inside and reflected on the missed advice she wished she had received, like freezing her eggs. Yet, amidst the pain, Jennifer's determination shone through. She emphasized that she was much more than this struggle, embodying love, talent, and rich life experiences. By sharing her story, Jennifer illuminated a common challenge many women face in silence, providing hope to those feeling alone. Her vulnerability has made her more relatable and resilient, standing firm even in the face of disappointment. Jennifer Aniston embodies self-acceptance and courage, serving as a reminder that every woman's journey is valid and contributes to their worth, independent of societal expectations.